2 different days, 2 different groups of employees, same Starbucks, and the same shitty service. Let's talk about how your restaurant service can highly impact the marketing effectiveness. My goal is to help restaurant owners finally get to where they want to go. But more than that, my goal is to find entrepreneurs within that segment that actually know what it means to hustle. That's my goal. Come on the journey with me. Restaurant Marketing Secrets, episode 715. I'm your host, Matt Plapp, and yesterday and the day before in Buffalo, New York, we made the mistake of heading down the street to the local Starbucks. Now, granted, the product was pretty decent, but the service and the execution, terrible. It's not that people can't have bad days, but when you have back-to-back days with different staff and the same exact problems, you probably got a management issue on executing what they're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of our visit, but then after that, talk about the importance that service plays towards marketing. So yesterday we go in, and it wasn't that bad, but it was just really slow. They had the drive-through rocking. They had us walking in. They had people with their mobile app orders. But it was comical to see how out of order they would get, because we would stand there for 10 minutes while people who walked in got their stuff before us, while people in the drive-thru got their stuff. And then when you ask a simple question like I did about my banana bread that they were heating up, and she rudely said she'll get to it, and I was actually kind of politely trying to hint that it was sitting behind her. So I had to walk down and talk to that barista, and she, oh, it's sitting right here, and hands it to me. It had been sitting there for a while. But the problem yesterday and today are the same exact thing. They're too damn busy and not managing the busy. They get the wrong people there to work in that type of environment. So today, we head back. We all get our coffees, me, Peter, David. We all get these breakfast burritos they got, breakfast wraps, I think they call them. And as we're waiting, we notice that Peter, who was the second of our party to order, does not have his nitro cold brew. And if you've been to Starbucks before, the nitro cold brew is pretty damn easy. You put a cup under a little handle, you pull said handle, and then you put a lid on it and hand it to the consumer. And of course me, I wanted to stoke the fires a little because I'm watching Peter wait and wait and wait. And I'm watching people come and go, come and go. So I peek over and I'm like, what's going on, Peter? And at this time I'm watching, this cold brew is overflowing. So the lady had turned the tap handle on, I guess, to maybe make Peter's cold brew. And this thing is just overflowing, overflowing, overflowing. So I'm sure a part of David Scott Peters' restaurant operations heart died when he saw that waste of cold brew, because she probably went through about 3 or 4 different cups. So then Peter thought he saw the finish line. There's his cold brew, right? Hands it to somebody else who walked in like 10 minutes after us. So Peter waits patiently, a lot more patiently than Matt Plapp would have been. I would have probably been throwing some bows at this point. So me and David are like, screw it, we're going outside. So we go outside to start partaking in the consumption of our burrito / wrap. And Peter's still waiting there. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go throw some logs on the fire. So I walk in thinking maybe if I walk up and be like, hey, Peter, what are you doing? That maybe this lady would acknowledge and realize, oh shit, this guy's been waiting here and 500 customers have come and gone. So I said that to Peter. Peter, what's going on? Where you at? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, we're getting it, sir. We're just really busy right now with a lot of things going on. And then a few minutes later, Peter gets his cold brew, which should have taken 20 seconds, about probably 10 minutes earlier. Here's the moral of the story. This lady's excuse today was the same as the lady's excuse yesterday, that they were busy, they had a lot of customers here, and they would get to it. If you're working at a place like a Starbucks, like a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, like Chipotle at lunch, well, no shit, Sherlock, it's going to be busy. That's the concept behind marketing at a massive level like they have, and the brand equity they have that drives thousands of people more than a lot of restaurants. Why are you in that environment if you can't handle the damn heat? Get out of the kitchen. But on top of that, what kind of impact is that going to have on your business long term? How many people have come to that Starbucks that live around here and have had shitty service 1, 2, 3 days in a row and they're gone? So all the money they're using to market the restaurant is going to slowly not make an impact at all, because locations like that with the wrong people can undo the best marketing, the best brand out there, and just drive people to a different location, or honestly, a different brand. Maybe they just get turned off by Starbucks. So the next time you think about your marketing and if it's working, I highly suggest you also look at the operations and if it's working. Because there are a lot of times when businesses have finely tuned marketing plans, but it's like putting great wheels on an ugly car. That's all I got. Talk to you tomorrow. And we had to invest a lot of money to bring our editing in-house at our HQ in Northern Kentucky. Number 7, the TNT BLT. That right there, my friends, is what I love about what we do. This owner's got a story about that sandwich, and it ties to a customer in the local community. That is what it's all about. That sandwich was named by one of his customers. The idea came up by one of his customers, and here it is on the menu. Those are reasons people want to support your restaurant. Number 8, Dave brings up his family, his wife's support. You know, how one of his chefs has been with him forever. That is the stuff that really separates you, again, from those big chains. And last but not least, the food looked amazing. Just everything in there was something you'd want to eat on a weekly basis. And that's one of our criteria. We have 10 criteria we check off
0 to 3. Restaurants have to rank above 23 in order to have that conversation. And we look at that, one of the items is, okay, 1 through 9, we've got reviews, their online presence, what the restaurant looks like, it's locally owned. Is this a place you would want to eat at every single week? Now, I guess I'll go to one more, last but not least, because we talked about the stats. At the time that I wrote this blog a few days ago, the episode was at 6,100 views. It had been live for about 12 hours. On their Facebook page, 6,100 views. Again, these are going to be local views. These aren't national views. People from Kentucky aren't watching an episode there. Maybe a few, but not many. It's kind of the opposite of a national show on cable. They're getting a ton of people nationwide, a few locally. We're getting a ton of people locally, a few nationwide. But this was at 6,100 views, 60 shares, 25 comments, 128 likes. Now I'm going to click it and go to the page now and see what it is at right now. So I can stop it before it plays and blurs my ears out here. Okay, the episode now is at 8,000 views a few days later. And that's not showing me the shares. Let me go through the restaurant and look. That's the best place. Look on their page, which is even cooler, by the way. I'm on the restaurant's Facebook page. That's where the attention is going because we want the restaurant to get the attention, not America's Best Restaurants. I do not give a shit about my brand getting attention from the consumers. I want the restaurant to win, which is why it's broadcast on their channel where they own it and they can run all the time. 67 shares, 28 comments, 143 reactions, and over almost 8,000 views. So the stats in the last couple days have gone up pretty solid. And what we hope to do is have these go up every week, every month, and have some continual exposure for your restaurant with this. One of the things we're actually rolling out here in the next couple of days that we're calling the ABR post-episode marketing package. We've had restaurant owners come back to us and go, Matt, my episode killed it for this amount of time. How do we keep it going? How do we get some rerun out of this? And we know how to do it. And we assumed that some of the restaurants would do it on their own. And they're like, hey, we're steak, pizza, burger people. We're not marketing people. We need your help with that. So that's coming out. So if you're a past visit, we've got a product coming out that's really inexpensive that's going to let us help you run ads to these to attract local views on autopilot, on repeat over the next 6, 12, 18 months. So that, my friends, is America's Best Restaurants, americasbestrestaurants.com, and the ABR Roadshow, and everything that's going to be encapsulated in there. Again, go check out our Vivid Vision at mattplapp.live/VV. I'll talk to you tomorrow.